I'd like to call the council meeting to order.
This meeting will also be conducted by audio and video conference without the requirement of a physically present quorum of the Rock Island City Council due to the disaster declaration issued by Governor Pritzker. Because of this order related to COVID-19 health concerns affecting the state and the city, the mayor has determined that an in-person meeting at City Hall with all participants may not be practical or prudent. Alderpersons and staff may not all be physically present due to the disaster, and physical attendance at City Hall may be limited. To participate remotely during the public comment or public hearing portion of the meeting, please join by phone at 1-929-277-9853, PIN 454-342-330 #.
Thank you very much. Roll call.
Alderperson Robinson.
Present.
Hurt.
Here.
Gilbert. Present. Swanson.
Here.
Parker.
Here.
Poulos.
Here.
Mayor Tomes.
Here. Thank you very much. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Public comment. Nobody has signed up for public comment. Is there anybody virtual? Everybody virtual? Hearing none, seeing none, we'll move on. Item number 7.
Minutes of the February 27th, 2023 study session and city council meeting.
Move to approve the minutes as printed. Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Poulos.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt. Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item number 8.
Minutes from the February 27th, 2023 closed session.
To approve the closed session minutes. Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Poulos.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye. Aye.
Gilbert. And Swanson.
Aye.
Item number 9, Rock Island update. Got a couple items here. Raise money for Rock Island Parks Department while enjoying delicious food and sampling of red wines. The next Parks Wine and Dine fundraiser is this Thursday, March 16th, at the QC Coffee and Pancake House, 1831 3rd Avenue. Register by Tuesday, March 14th, by calling 309-788-9589. The cost is $75 per person. Embrace your Irish heritage and the spirits of St. Patrick's this weekend. The annual St. Patrick's Day Parade is this Saturday, March 18th, hosted by the St. Patrick's Society. The parade begins downtown Rock Island on the corner of 4th Avenue and 23rd Street at 11:30 a.m. The Riverbend Food Bank will march first, collecting monetary donations along the way to help fight hunger in the Quad Cities. Join the Rock Island Park and Recreation for an Easter egg hunt or home bunny visit. This year's spring egg hunt is free, but children ages 3 to 10 will need to pre-register to attend. Hunt for thousands of colorful eggs in the Lincoln Park at 11th Avenue and 38th Street at 9 a.m. on Saturday, April 1st, for the annual Rock Island Park and Recreation Spring Egg Hunt. Register by calling 309-732-PARK. Want to have a home bunny visit? For a fee of $35, the Easter Bunny will scatter 20 eggs in your yard and stick around for a quick photo with you. Register by calling the Rock Island Fitness and Activity Center at 309-732-7275. Just what you need, Mark. I might buy that just for you to go out and hunt. All right. Item number 10.
Mayor Tomes will close the regular meeting and open a public hearing on a request from Kenneth Allen, The Gathering, for a waiver of the signature requirement to secure a liquor license at 1718 Second Avenue.
All right, I would like to close the regular meeting and open a public hearing. Is Kenneth Allen here? I don't see him. Is there anybody that wishes to speak in, wait. Hello, Kenneth. You're up if you wish to speak.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
As most of you know, I have the building 1718 Second Avenue. Rock Island, sorry about my voice, I got a little cold.
Join the crowd.
Move that closer to you too, Mr. Allen, if you'd like. That'll come closer. You can move the
Microphone.
microphone closer if you'd like.
I've passed all building inspections. I passed all health inspections. I haven't broken any laws. I've been a good citizen for the community. I've gathered the majority of the signatures. And if you count the return mail that I got from the addresses I got, then I would have all of them except one, but I still, with the signatures I have 10 out of 21. I wanted to show a couple things because last time, okay, now this is the first business plan that I turned in 2019. I was told to revise it because my conversations with the mayor was he wanted me to be open 36 hours a week, and he wasn't giving any 3 o'clock liquor licenses. So I remade my business plan, which was submitted to Rock Island, for 2 o'clock. And this was in 2019. So I've been working on this for a very long time. I have a ton of money invested into this place. As the mayor knows, I've also had designs on the kitchen made from A1, A+ Restaurant Supply. And I've been open since June of last year. I haven't had any problems or any incidents. All I need is my liquor license so I could further advance.
Okay. What we're going to do is, before we ask questions, we'll have people speaking for and against, and then we'll open it up for the council or anybody. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak in favor of this? Anybody like to speak in favor? Is there anybody who'd like to speak opposed to this? Anybody opposed? Okay, that's fine. Council have any questions, or?
I do. So the paperwork that we got showed only that you only had 2 signatures, but you said you have 10?
Yes, I have copies of them with me. And one signature I didn't collect. I already had a yes on him the last time I collected signatures, so I don't see no reason why that wouldn't count either. If you count his, I have all of them. But these are the list of signatures I submitted to Rock Island.
Oh, okay.
Some of them were on multiple buildings, and one of them wasn't even on the list. Let me see.
Because it's my understanding, the minimum signatures he needed was 10. So if he has 10 signatures and they can be verified, then he doesn't need to
Let
ask
me
for
be
a
clear, I
waiver.
have 8 signatures, and some of the people that signed the signatures own multiple properties, 2 or 3 buildings.
Right.
Are those?
And I don't believe the ones from the previous one can be included,
Right.
isn't that correct?
Correct.
These are new signatures, but if you count the one I didn't get from the previous one, I would have 11. And that was from, believe the Loft Group, I believe the Limited Loft Group was the only one I didn't get. And TRC Holdings, according to this list, holds a liquor license, so his isn't required.
Well, the forms that we have, go ahead, Dave, if you were gonna.
No, I just, if you, it appears that you have documents in front of you here today that perhaps council hasn't seen. So I was just thinking if maybe we could get you copies of those, if council wanted to take a look at it. I'm not sure what he's got in front of him, but I would guess that you're representing that you have these signatures, and I don't think council's seen copies of pages with signatures on them. Is that?
How would we verify those signatures here in this
Yeah, they have
forum
to
right
be
now?
verified.
We would-
So
I submitted them weeks ago, before I got the hearing.
Chief, I don't know if you want to talk to that or speak, but the documentation we have only shows two.
I brought the signatures, I brought copies.
Yeah, now you brought copies, I know of some of the
No
previous
previous
ones.
signatures, and there's one previous signature that I didn't bring that should count. There's nothing in your legislation stating that a previous signature shouldn't count. But these are new signatures. I can show you the new dates from 2020 and 2021 and the mailing addresses.
Right.
So
Can
these are
we
new
clarify
signatures.
real quick with our city attorney about the legislation on that?
Sure. I don't, there's nothing that indicates whether you can or cannot use an old signature. However, each application is separate, so when you have a new signature, or I mean, when you have a new application, the plain reading of the language would be that it would be a complete packet. In other words, is there specific language that says that you can or cannot count an old signature? No, but each application, the plain language is that each application is its own separate document. And one of the reasons for that, I believe, is likely that, for instance, the owners of a piece of property might change. So I might come to you with an application in 2020, and you say, okay, here's the list of people that I have to get signatures from. In the meantime, someone sells one of those businesses on contract or sells one of those businesses to another property owner. So I would believe that each one would be its own
They could
Well,
also
that
have a
makes
change of
perfect
heart in the
sense.
meantime,
They could,
right?
they
You
could also, they could certainly,
change your mind, or-
yeah, they
Just
certainly
take your
could,
detail.
right, but if the question is there specific language that says that thou shalt not? No. But is there language that refers to each one being separate? I think that certainly is the plain reading of the
Right,
language.
because somebody could say, hey, I might have wanted it back then, and, the following year, maybe they don't want it this year, so.
And
Right.
I can verify that did change from the first application to the second. The property owners, as well as the signatures that he needed, did change. Some of them, of course, a lot of them were the
One
same, but they
property only
changed.
changed, the other signatures are the same. And again, I have returned mail from 2020 and 2022 to show that I sent signatures out multiple times. These are new signatures. The only new signature that I'm trying to count that I did not get is Arts Alley. But they already previously said yes, and unless they're here to say no, I don't see no reason why they would count they're the same owner.
Arts Alley or Quad City Arts?
The billing address was 124 Arts Alley.
Is that yours? That's the law group. Okay, thank you.
I would,
And
in
the other
fairness,
signatures that I didn't get, I have returned mail from their addresses right here.
Yeah, the return
Billing
mail
ad-
doesn't mean anything
It
because,
means I couldn't get a hold of them.
right, but that
So
doesn't, you can't count those.
You can't count it against me.
Yes, we can.
You
Yeah.
count, okay, you give me the wrong address, and I send it to you, and you say you can count it against me? Does that make sense?
You have to actually have the physical signature of the business.
I have 8 new signatures.
I would, I guess what I would suggest.
Not from the old list.
What I would suggest is this, that I think that Mr. Allen would have the right to present whatever evidence
Yes.
he has. This is a hearing that would be entitled him to give whatever evidence he has, and he has explanations. Are there copies of signatures? I mean, you have multiple pages in front of you, sir.
Okay, I
So,
have-
is there one for each council member, or would you like us to make copies so that each council member has, and obviously, we've got some council members that are virtual, but we can deal with that in a moment. Do you have individual, I don't know if each page is a
I have
separate
one
signature?
copy, the rest of these are, 2 copies, the rest are originals. And again, all you have to do is call and verify these. These signatures I received at the end of 2022 after I applied for the liquor license. You should have pictures of the old signatures, you can compare them, like,
My question is, where's the list that the council currently has?
I have
Where-
both right here if you want to see them.
The signatures at the end of 2022 was the first application, not the second
No,
application.
no,
was it?
he's correct, it's the
Okay.
second. and
Okay, I'm sorry.
Naomi-
I'm sorry.
Naomi did include all the signatures that he provided to us in the council packet.
Yeah, I turned in 8 new signatures, last month.
With your permission, can I make copies of the documents you have here for council? I'll give you your originals and I'll let your copies back.
Sure.
Because I think that this is your opportunity to present whatever evidence you have, and that way everybody's looking at the same thing. Does that make sense?
Sure. Sure, these are just the signatures.
Yeah. I think Rob's office is open here. Do we
Yeah.
get a code for making copies back there, Rob? And you can just make them back and make copies, and,
I think Tim's trying to find it there.
thank you, sir.
All right. And, again, I
45,
have,
Tim, 45.
and, again, I have returned mail from 2022
Yes.
showing that I made every effort to collect the
Oh,
signatures.
you're correct, that does show the effort, but you can't count it as signatures. You cannot count those as signatures.
This council has said on several occasions they generally waive signatures. They said it at Nicole Liam's last hearing. They said it every time. They waive
I'm not saying they can't, they
signatures.
can still consider that as waiver, I'm not saying that. You just can't count those as positive
But you
signatures.
gotta understand what we're saying is, from what we're looking at currently on here, that does not represent a majority, and that's why we want clarification.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I brought copies.
While we're waiting for that, Chief, do you have, what documentation you guys,
In the PDF attached to the agenda item
Correct.
are the signatures.
Right, it's just 8 signatures on there, but then on the spreadsheet, there's only 2.
And that's because some of them are excluded. If you hold a liquor license, so like Tom, Norman, Second Avenue Mart, they all hold liquor licenses, the Stern Center, all of those would be excluded from him even having to get them. So although we included them in the packet, we, or Lieutenant Morris, did not count them because they were not needed, if that makes sense.
No, they don't count.
So they're marked as NA on the spreadsheet.
Correct, not attainable, so.
Right. Not no, not yes, but NA.
right?
Well,
Go ahead,
all right.
Chief.
I was just going to simply say that at the time this report was completed on February 9, 2023, on this packet, this was the signatures that were provided, that you have copies up there as long as the list. You have the required signatures, the mandatory signatures, and then you have the majority signatures. If you look at the signatures that were provided, and I went over these real quick, Tom Norman, which I think is your first one that's going to pop up there, that address is for the arena. So that already has a liquor license, so that's not one of them that would count. We can't use that one. The next one is Second Avenue Market. Again, they have a liquor license. There's another one that lists 28 18th Street. That's not even one of the listed signatures that are required. Then you drop down, and there's one that says Modern Woodman, and they list 1701 First Avenue, but that would be for the 1639 Second Avenue parking lot, I believe, is what they're signing for. The 1720 Second Avenue is the actual applicant's address, so that one wouldn't count because they're applying for that location. And then the address of 211 18th Street, that's a Smoking Dog, that again has a liquor license. The 1709 to 1711 Second Avenue, that's the Urban Reserve, they have a liquor license. And the other one, Project Now, is a yes. So those are the 2 that went on that he got, based on what was provided as part of this application packet.
Yes, you can, absolutely.
Is video evidence, the very last hearing, you all asked the exact same question about Jason Morgan and the signature counted. Now the next hearing, it doesn't count. And how, everybody within me has a liquor license because I'm in the district. How could their signatures not count? And the place that he said is not on the list is well within 300 feet because the building past his is. So how could he not be on the list? The signature, I've said this several times, the list is inaccurate anyway. But I got the majority of everybody in my vicinities, signatures. You all gave me that list, and I got the list you all gave me. You didn't tell me who did and didn't have a liquor license. You said get signatures from these people, and that's what I did. Now you telling me they don't count? And you're not even counting the signature that you counted last time.
I can't speak for the last time. I do know that it's part of the ordinance and everything else, that the ones that currently have liquor license are not eligible. Whether they signed it or not, they're not eligible. And that was that way before.
What is
It's been
written
that
that
way
said that
since I've been mayor.
signatures don't count?
What's that?
Where is it written that it says the signatures don't count?
City attorney's not here, so he's got that information. I don't
The
have it.
signatures have to count. It's on the list you gave me.
Just because it's on the list doesn't mean that those are the ones that count.
Okay, so if I got 2 signatures, that's out of how many that don't have liquor license? You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're
That
saying.
number has to drop tremendously, because everybody around me has a liquor license.
Yeah,
You can't say you only got 2 signatures, but you still gonna count it against all the other buildings that have liquor licenses too?
We're waiting for the attorney. It's not we were ignoring you.
Mr. Allen, I believe you can go ahead and verify, if you want to take that and compare it to one of our samples that we made for the city council, because I want to make sure.
The officer just basically said he don't count some of them because they have liquor licenses, but, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that you have the opportunity to present whatever evidence you want to, and I want to
yeah.
make sure that you are satisfied that what I am giving to city council is what in fact you brought here with you today, so that we're
Yeah.
aware of. So if you just want to take a look real quick and make sure that your originals match up with that copy, then I'll be happy to distribute those to council.
Well, let me be clear, counsel. I'm not here to play a gotcha game. I want to work with the city of Rock Island. I have no problem working with the city of Rock Island. I've done everything I've been asked to do. I've done nothing but comply. Comply. You know, I'm not trying to, I'm just trying to be open and run my business the right way. I've done everything right.
I do have a question for our attorney, though, real quick. Well, whenever.
A second.
Thank you, sir.
Council, I've had this building since May of 2019. I even had it through the pandemic. I didn't get no funds from the government to help keep it up. I've put a ton of money into this building and getting it prepared, and I'm trying to be a major staple in the downtown area of Rock Island. And it's just as simple as that. I'm trying to work with the city of Rock Island any way I can.
I do have a question for our city attorney, Dave.
Yes.
So as I'm looking at these liquor license petitions that were filled out, signed, I noticed that none of them are dated or anything at the, like, you know, where it says to sell alcoholic beverages in the building located, there's no date, there's no year. So how do we really know when these are, how do we know when these are actually signed? I mean, are these
If you're asking me to use my best guess to put a date on those, I cannot and will not do so because I don't know. I'm not the author of those documents. I'm not the recipient of those documents, so I can't tell you what date they were filled out by someone. Certainly questions, I guess, could be asked to Mr. Allen, but I can't.
I guess I'm wondering, to make these my question being, I mean, most people that get petitions filled out have them dated and signed and such and properly executed, so I guess
I do not know why the people that signed it didn't date it when they signed it.
Well, none of those are signed. I mean, this should be, I think, isn't that,
The two that are legit signatures that count don't have the date signed.
I'm just thinking, I mean, just like any other petition.
All they had to do
you
was
would
call
date
the
it and
numbers
sign
to
it, so we-
verify them.
I mean, because we don't know when these are even filled out. I mean, I just kind of wondering what as far as the
Their
petition
phone numbers are on
process.
there. All they had to do was call the people to verify
Oh.
the signature.
I understand, but I mean, there's a lot of things when people sign petitions, they should be dated, and
You know,
I'm just-
you're right. You're 100% right. But I'm saying if the issue is you don't know if it's a new signature or not, all they have to do is call the number and ask, "Did you sign this petition?" And they'll give the answer. And it's
I know, but we shouldn't have, I guess in my opinion, as a council
They
person.
have to
who's-
call.
hold on. If we're being asked to waive these signatures, and I'm looking at, okay, what's properly executed here, and I don't see that these are, to me, this isn't a properly executed petition is what I'm saying, and I'm just kind of wondering why these were not signed and dated, or,
I apologize for there not being any dates for it to be the utmost accuracy to them, but they are recent signatures, and again, the city has to call to verify them, so no one would think that would be a big deal because you have to call the person to verify it.
well, the only one that looks like in this packet that's dated was Mr. Norman. Well, no, there's two of them. So Mr. Norman, but that was back in July, and then one was this on 30th of November. So one goes back, quite a
Again,
ways.
every hearing, you all say you generally waive signatures, and this is what you're doing with the
I'm just going through proper
But the-
protocol. and
The
I'm
issue is
just-
the,
and it's-
the police department called the numbers that we gave the list of the ones that had to have. They went through those, and they made the phone calls to verify of those that were legit to be
Okay,
able to
and
call.
that may be true. I'm just asking for, you
Yeah.
know.
No,
I guess-
you're right, it would have been better if they'd have been
I
dated,
just
I
think it's a
agree.
fair question to ask that.
Yeah, I agree, it would have been better if they would have been dated.
But of the copies we received, there's only two signatures. The rest, I don't know how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, that are not eligible to be counted as signatures. So again, there's still only two.
Yes.
Again,
Like a legit
you
signature.
counted against two against all the rest of the buildings that have liquor license. So if it was 10 to 21, it has to be about 2 to 8 now, or 2 to 5. Because if they don't count for their signatures, you can't count them against me not having them either. So the number has to drop too. Does that make sense?
That's how our ordinance is, right?
Okay.
The ordinance does refer to, and I think we talked about this earlier, and I just want to make clear, I'm not certain I understand the question, but the ordinance refers to, for instance, if I have a bar next to your proposed site, then I am not someone who has, I don't get to choose whether I get a competitor or not. So I'm not someone who is required to sign because I say, hey, I don't want Mr. Allen competing with me, so I'm going to say no. That's not, so I'm not a required signature because I'm next door to you and I can't stop you from competing with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And so if
But
that's the question.
I'm just saying, if.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I just want to make sure if I'm.
Oh, yeah,
understanding the
yeah, I
question.
agree. But I'm just saying, if it
So
was,
the issue is, let me help you see if I can clarify for you.
okay.
Okay? So if the ones that are in 30 feet are mandatory to get, and there's 10 of those, let's just say there's 10 of those, and 8 of those 10 have liquor licenses, if I get 2, if I satisfied it,
Yeah, yes, in my opinion, you have, because those are not required signatures. I mean, that's the way I read, and let me reread the statute, but that is, or the code.
that's, I think, Kenneth's issue.
That is, right, and I
Gotta be
think that
fair.
that is, they accept from the signatures, and let me read it again, but my recollection is that if I am a liquor owner within the 40 feet, and I'm part of the required group, I'm excluded from that because I'm a liquor license holder. So let me reread that really quick.
So that would be 6 properties on the required list.
Is that what it is? You're quicker than I am.
Some of them don't own multiple properties.
There's only 4 on the required list.
Well, actually, yeah, 5, because we have to take out the City of Rock Island one, because that
Correct.
doesn't count. So there's 5.
So I got 2 out of 5.
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
But
3.
no, there's only 3, he only needs 3 on that required
So
list.
the number has to drop tremendously.
Now, there's a required, of
But
course, then there's-
again, I don't know
So
why
there's 12,
why
but
the
there's
other
multiple
signatures wouldn't
properties,
count.
so they don't use-
What I see is the applicable code section to the question, as I understand it, is going to be subsection C, adjacent businesses,
Oh, that's not clear.
where it says, a place of business in the block under a license issued hereunder shall not be deemed will not be deemed necessary for this section. So it looks like if you have a liquor license and you fall within that section, within that area, you are not a required signature. Let me reread that one more time, but that is the way it appears to me. It's provided further that the signature of any adjacent property owner who is then conducting a place of business in the block under a license issued hereunder, so a liquor license. If you have a liquor license and you are an adjacent property owner, you are excluded. That's the way I see it.
Okay.
And so that number would drop if there are, so if you've got, hypothetically, you've got 6 properties that are in that range, and 3 of them are bars, you don't have to have 6 signatures, you'd have to have the signature, you would be looking for signatures from the 3 that don't have liquor licenses.
That's correct.
Is
So I
the
have
way
2 out of 3.
That's my reading of
Okay.
the ordinance.
And so.
Again,
Go ahead.
I think I'm agreeing with you.
No, I'm saying,
Hold on.
the owner of my building, his signature counted the last hearing, because the same question was brought up,
Jimmy Morrison will
and,
spell it out for us.
you would have to watch the video, but the same question was brought up about getting, the person I'm leasing the building from signature, and they counted last time.
Holding a liquor license.
So I don't know why it wouldn't count this
That would be
time.
that'd be a conflict of interest, though.
So, yeah, so on the required list, there's 3 property owners of 5 properties that are required signatures, if I'm looking at this correctly.
Oh, and again,
But there are 0 signatures that were attained in that grouping. And then in the next one,
wait, hold on, you said, that can't be right, because everybody right everybody close to me has a liquor license, everybody within 40 feet. And that's what I was saying earlier. The person's signature I couldn't get, I have a return mail from his address that I was given by the city of Rock Island, so it's impossible for me to get his signature if the address is wrong. And I have it from 2020 and 2022 to show you I sent it then and now. If you all want to see the return mail and compare them to the list and the dates.
Well, no, 12 minus 6, so he got 2 out of 6 for that one and 2 out of 10 for the other one.
Once I took the city.
We got 2 out of 6. They needed 6 on that, on the 12 that were mandatory.
Well,
Right?
there,
no,
No.
the majority, no, the mandatory ones, the
Yeah.
required ones, there's 3 property owners with 5 properties total, but there were 0 signatures attained. So there's none in that grouping. In the majority list, there's 11 properties, and he got 2 signatures, 2 out of the 11.
Again, everybody within the 40 feet range has liquor licenses, so I only need maybe 2 of them, and I'm trying to show you the address with their billing address was returned mail. I drove to the place and everything, it was,
But those don't count. You can't count that stuff.
no, but I'm saying,
But our
you're
code
counting
says-
it against me, and I'm saying it's impossible to get it. How can you say we're gonna count that address against you, and you gave me the wrong address?
We've done that with every other applicant, everything else. It's the
No.
exact same thing.
No, you usually waive the signatures. I've never seen this much over signatures.
Hang on.
You say it you said it the last hearing.
I'm not debating that.
Tim, go to page 28,
Anyway,
please.
hey, Tim, could you go to page 28?
27.
27, please. And I'm not totally arguing against you, short of we haven't
No, I get
waived
it.
everybody, every time signature, everybody that's always come up here, so.
So,
So there is 12 there that are mandatory, correct?
but only 5 are really applicable because you can't count the not. the
Okay, so there's
borrowers.
5 here that are applicable that do not have liquor license that you could get.
Right.
Big Edge Liquors has a liquor license. TR Holdings has a liquor license. Cole El Molino has a liquor license.
TR Holding, isn't that,
Liquor license?
When I got the Freedom of Information, it's a star. See, their name is on both lists. It's one on the mandatory and the minority list. On the minority list, it's a star on it because it has a liquor license. So
Yeah.
they have a liquor license.
TR doesn't have.
I'll show you.
TR does not have a liquor license.
I'll show you the list I got from
Oh,
Rock Island.
it's 2 different addresses. On the required list, it's 1710 Second Avenue for TR Holdings, and on the majority list, it's 1704 Second Avenue,
Got 2 addresses.
which has
Has a liquor license.
a liquor license. Yeah.
One does, one does not.
I'm guessing one is the old La Figaro building, and the other is a different building other than the old La Figaro building. That would be my belief.
That's correct. So these are the mandatory ones.
Now, would Dari and would Rock Island Economic Growth, would they be considered part of the city? So would be excluded or not?
It's not part of the city.
Okay.
Because Mark Romer does not have a liquor license. Nicole does. TR on one of them does not. I'm not sure if that's the one that does not.
That's the one that doesn't.
Okay,
I'm saying, so one of his buildings count and the other one doesn't? A lot of these people own multiple buildings, too.
Right.
And they all don't have liquor licenses, but you
Not
say
all
they
of-
don't
not-
count.
Not all of them do. They own two buildings, one has a liquor license, one does not.
Just
Okay,
like-
it's the same with the people who signed my petition. Some of them have multiple buildings, multiple addresses. They all don't have liquor licenses on them.
Right.
So,
Let's take one at a time, please.
man.
I'm
we
trying to
do-
work through it. We're trying to help you here and
I-
make
no,
sure
I
that we
get it,
get
I
the
get
right
it.
number.
I get
okay?
it.
Really are. Of this list, let's just take one list at a time. The ones that have a liquor license on here, and people, I'm not knowledgeable on all of them, but let's make sure. We know this, Mark, we know does not. Nicole, we know does. TR Holdings, is that the old La Figaro's? Does anybody know if that's the La Figaro's building? Can we find that out real quick or not?
Yeah, we can Google it.
Loft Group Limited is, it's two properties.
Can I suggest that we either table this and do whatever figuring we're doing right now, because this just looks unprofessional with the way we're doing this at this moment. I know I can't go in, yeah, can we, one of those, either move forward with what we have in front of us, or either table it so we can get clarification, so we can be clear on what is required from Mr. Allen, and then how to proceed forward.
And I think that in fairness to Mr. Allen, I mean, I think the intent of the public hearing is to allow him to present whatever evidence he has in support. It sounds like he's got documentation that might be different than what we had for whatever reason. So I think, so that we can make sure that everyone's working on the same information, I don't think that that is a bad idea.
No, I just want to make it extremely clear. I work very hard to try to get all of these signatures, especially while I'm working 60 to 65 hours a week. And as you can see, I got a vast majority of the signatures that was on the list. And now we're just breaking it down, who you want to count and who you don't want to count. But I went and got the majority of the signatures that you asked me to get that was on the list. There was no markings for me to see who has or doesn't have a liquor license. But, and again, I have returned mail from some of the mandatory addresses up there where it was impossible to get an answer. So, you know, I couldn't get a yes or a no from them because the address was incorrect.
Yeah.
And I can show you this.
No,
You can
we understand.
compare it
We
to it.
don't distrust that you worked hard at it. We're
Okay.
not distrusting that. Nobody's questioned that.
No, that's
Okay.
what happened last time.
Nobody's questioning that.
I do have a question. So the letters that were all mailed out, all the letters were mailed out to that entire list,
I mailed
all
letters
12?
to the mailing address and the billing addresses
so,
twice.
So they went to the 12 on that list and then the 18 on the second list.
I'm-
So
I'm-
I guess my question is, why were letters mailed out to people whose signature was not applicable? Why were they not?
I don't have, again, I don't.
Oh, you mailed them. Okay.
Are you
We
talking
did- he
about
did.
those letters?
Oh.
Or what he
Yeah.
did?
Return letters. You're talking about his return letters.
No, I'm talking about the letters in the packet that went
Oh.
out from Samantha.
Okay, let me confirm our process. That's always been the process. So what happens is Lieutenant Morris, over at the police department, we get this list from Kathy Douglas and CED, right? It's a GIS property list that's generated based on property from the county. From there, we provide that to the liquor license applicant with all the list of majority and the list of required signatures. And so then that's up to them at that point to mail out letters, knock on doors, whatever avenues they use to try to obtain those licenses.
I
or
just
those-
think this has
then-
made this very convoluted, the way we're
Once
doing
they,
it now.
right, but that's the list we're just required, that's what everybody's
We get
gone
public
by.
notice for the 2 weeks deal. Where do we mail them?
We mail it to every single person that he said he's tried to obtain the liquor license from,
These
including
addresses
the
here.
NAs.
These
Correct.
addresses here.
Now, when Lieutenant Morris goes in to verify those, he goes and marks NA for all of those holding liquor license because they're not
They're not eligible.
correct. I still mail out all of those because they're still neighbors and they still have an opportunity to speak for or against this in a public hearing, because even though they don't sign for it, they still are afforded the public opportunity to speak for or against.
Well,
But
they all
so like a
signed for it.
graph like that, he never got anything like that shows.
Yes, he would have
No,
gotten.
no, I didn't. I have my list right here of what I got. I just got, that's not the list I have. I just have a list. I'll show it to you.
It's just in a different format. So
But
Lieutenant
it
Morris.
doesn't tell
what
me
did-
who does and
Your
does not
list
have a liquor
doesn't even
license. I just got a
indicate,
list of names.
you just got a list of names and
Just a
there's
list of
nothing that
names and
indicates who
addresses.
has a liquor
Exactly.
license.
Right.
Exactly.
We never identify liquor license or non-liquor.
Well, and to be honest, that is kind of misleading. I mean, I hate to say it, because he's right. He mailed out all these letters, and he needed a minimum of 10. That's what we told him. He got 10 of them back, but 8 of them he should never have had to mail in the first place because they weren't going to count anyhow. So, I mean, to be honest, that's kind of a flaw in the system, I feel.
I mean, honestly, I think, I agree with that. I think, though, that yes, they should be sent maybe a notice of a hearing that, hey, so if they want to speak out again. But I mean, I think it would just kind of streamline the whole process of, hey, these are the eligible people, and take those out of the initial thing. I guess that would be my recommendation moving forward on these.
Because you're right, we do waive the signature waiver. If you need 10 signatures and you're missing like 2, we do waive that. If you need 10 signatures and you're missing 8 and you only got 2, that's very different. But I can honestly see where your confusion came into, because you have signatures, but 8 of those signatures you didn't need and shouldn't have gotten, but because you didn't know.
Yeah, but like I said, my intention was just to try to get everyone's signature, no matter the circumstances, because they're my neighbors anyway. And again, I got 2 signatures, but the list has to shrink down a lot from needing 10 or 15. It has to drop by more than half.
If you take the liquor license of people out of there, yes.
Yeah.
So, so I went through what we were given tonight and what's in our packet. It's the same thing. So there are still only 2 eligible signatures that were obtained out of 6 required and 11 majority.
Correct.
May still be lacking quite a bit. There's no question about that.
No, but 2 out of the
So if you
major-
read up there, if you read that statement, and then on the next page, he talks about how he excluded those 6.
Yeah, but you're not gonna, some of these right here, these 12, have liquor licenses. And so you can't count those.
Right, yep, and he
And so
talks.
if by you take those out, Judith is just
properties.
saying there's only 5 that can be eligible out of that.
Yep.
Okay?
And he still got 0.
And he got 0 out of that list, there you got 0. Now, the other list, you got 2,
No, it's only
11
there's only
properties.
2 people on that list name I need.
and you did,
Mark at the top.
and you didn't get Mark.
Everybody else has
1,
liquor
2,
license.
Oh, I know that, but you didn't,
And I told you I could not get a hold.
I understand you couldn't get them, hold of them. We understand that.
If the address is wrong, then
The addresses, those addresses are current addresses that they
and I
have.
have it right here.
I know
The
you
current
do.
address, returned mail, so it can't be the right address.
They may not be collecting their mail, but
No, it says return to sender, not deliver as address unavailable to forward. On the address is on the list. Just look at it. It's right here. From 2020 and 2022.
I found out with the SSA, there are post office addresses, and then there's property addresses in the tax rolls that are not the same as the post office mailing addresses, not always.
okay.
But again, there's 2 signatures that are eligible.
Yes.
For
that
what
he
it's
got.
worth,
Go ahead.
for what it's worth, what has been presented tonight demonstrates to me that he has tried to secure signatures from his neighbors, from the required properties I don't hold it against him that letters were sent back or not forwarded on. For me personally, it demonstrates that he tried.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, I don't think anybody said he hasn't tried. All right. So we're still in the public's, open deal, but we will have an option whether to postpone this or take a vote tonight. Somebody will have to make that. Go ahead, Dave.
Once the public hearing portion is, and when you're entertaining a motion,
Yes.
that is correct. It would be, there would be a couple of options. It would seem that to postpone to a date certain would be a possibility, or to take a vote would depend on the motion and a second on any of those items.
Correct.
And that would be up to council to decide.
Okay. So is there any other, we're in public forum. Is there anybody else in the public that wishes to speak? Virtual or here? Mr. Allen, was there anything else before we close this part of it?
Yeah, it's been 4 years of me having this building. I have a ton of money into it. I've invested a lot in the downtown area of Rock Island, and I'm just trying to do good business down there and work with the city of Rock Island. Like I said, please take in consideration, I did everything I could to collect most of these signatures, and even if you look, 2 of the addresses, the address on that list is, I have a return letter from it, so it's impossible for me to get any answer from them. I have a lot invested in this, and yeah, just give me a chance.
Okay, thank you. Anybody in the council have any questions, comments, before we close the open session?
I just hope we really take into account how this makes us look, towards our businesses. We really need to change this process so it's more transparent and it's cleaner, because it just does not look good. We're confused as staff and as council when a business person is coming in to us for assistance. So I hope we really take account of what happens tonight, and we fix this process going forward.
Well noted. All right. I am now closing the public hearing and reopening the city council meeting.
Move to recommend to the mayor and liquor commissioner to waive the signature requirement as requested and approve the liquor license.
Second.
Move the second. Discussion?
So I do have a question. So we're being asked to waive the signature requirement and approve the liquor license, but we don't approve the liquor license.
So let's be clear.
Being asked.
We need to be clear about what we're talking about here, because it is very, it's in the code, and the only thing that city council can do is consider the motion. They can make a recommendation to waive to the liquor commissioner, who is in fact the mayor. The mayor then makes a decision. So I can tell you, I'll read the code section to you. I think it's under subsection J, but let me see. Okay. Subsection J reads in whole, waiver of approval, the city council may waive the approval requirements relating to property owners and/or adjacent property owners set forth in subsection C, which was what we were just discussing, of this section, after holding a public hearing concerning said matter at the request of the applicant for a liquor license. In the event that the city council determines that it is in the best interest of the city that said waiver be granted, then, in that event, the city council shall take official action thereof and refer said matter to the mayor, who is the local liquor commissioner, to determine whether or not a license should be granted to the premises requested by the applicant. There is then a subsection, under subsection K, they talk about the procedure for waiver of approval. Under subsection K, subparagraph 5, at the completion of the public hearing, the city council will then consider a motion as to whether to make a recommendation to the liquor commissioner to consider granting a liquor license. The commissioner will take the matter under advisement and make a decision within 30 days of the hearing. The applicant will be notified of the decision.
So the issue is, on this language, it talks about and approve the liquor license on the motion,
A recommendation whether to, once again,
a recommendation.
So
it
it
is
should be
not-
to waive the signature requirement as requested and refer to the liquor commission.
Or,
I just want to reiterate. I just want to reiterate this. again, this language has been the same for every waiver that has came up. We really need to clean this up before we present this on our agenda. So we're not having these discussions in front of the business owner, and we're making ourselves look bad because now we have to go and change something that we created. Let's get this stuff right so we're not making ourselves look foolish in front of the city. It's very simple. We know what the language should be. Why are we still using the same language? It's just not correct. I agree with you, Alderperson Swanson, but I think we just need to make sure this process is a lot cleaner going forward, so we don't have these embarrassing moments again.
Okay, go ahead in just a second, just before, we have another comment here on the floor here too. Go ahead. Who
I
had
have a question, but it
Yeah.
was for the chief. Because if you look on the chart, I guess, I'm curious, because like, there's no's, no, they didn't get the signature, or no, they said no.
So the first column, no, means that the signature was not obtained. The second column would be whether or not Lieutenant Morris was able to verify that that signature was obtained.
Okay, so, so the two signatures that we do have, their signatures weren't verified, according to this chart. But I'm asking, like, so maybe, like, I don't know, one of these, Illinois Housing Authority, was asked, and they were like, no. So how is that no different from, no, we couldn't obtain the signatures? Do you
It's
understand what I'm
not
saying?
recorded.
It's not
I
recorded?
mean, yeah, it's just not included. There is no way that the city is distinguishing between no, as in I oppose it, and no, as in you're just going to get the signature.
Correct.
So,
It
I
is
have
confusing.
And
question
it's
for
very
our
confusing.
attorney. So, Mr. City Attorney, if a motion is made to table it to allow him, to identify for him which eligible signatures still need to be gotten and give him time to do that, does that take precedence over the motion on the?
Well, I think that you'd have to, there's a motion right now that I think is, if you made a motion to table, yes, you're correct. Motion to table to a date certain is not debatable, and it is something that takes precedence over the initial motion that was made. So if it were tabled, then that would be, my interpretation of Robert's rules would be that would be the motion that would be considered first. If that motion fails, you'd come back to the motion that was made by Alderperson Parker, I believe.
Now, can I say something?
Sure.
You don't want me to go and send another, it's the same address y'all just have up there that I showed you, I didn't get a response from. You want me to try to get another response from them?
We're not sure about that yet.
I've put a lot of time in already collecting these signatures.
I'm merely
do not wanna
answering,
go get
I'm
them.
merely answering a procedural question, sir. They were asking me what the procedure was for Robert's rules, and I'm trying to give them my best interpretation of Robert's rules.
We'll give you.
I just
Yeah,
really
but-
don't, I don't feel it's,
For the
I feel it's
addresses
unfair.
aren't, I'm not gonna get nothing back from them.
We-
Can't hear what,
Go ahead, we had two people talking at the same
feel it's
time. Go ahead, Moses.
I feel it's unfair for us to penalize Mr. Allen for a confusion that we have. Let's move forward with the motion and let's fix this going forward.
We give him an exception.
That's my suggestion.
Correct, we got to deal with the motion that's on the table now, and/or someone's got to table it. I want to make a motion to table it, but
but it doesn't sound like he wants to have the
That's just-
opportunity to get more
that's just his
signatures.
opinion.
No, yeah,
Time
I
to get
mean,
more signatures.
I would agree that I don't know what tabling is going to change. Again, as I said earlier, it's been demonstrated to me that the gentleman tried to contact the required properties, no response. I'm fine with moving forward with my motion.
And so with the process, then the recommendation goes to the liquor commissioner, and that then gets taken to the liquor commission,
no, liquor commissioner only.
the liquor commissioner only. Okay.
Correct. My motion was to recommend to the liquor commissioner to waive the signature requirement as the gentleman has requested, and a recommendation to approve the liquor license. We do not approve liquor licenses. We are just recommending that the liquor commissioner waive the signature requirement as has been requested and to approve the liquor license.
So we're basically telling the liquor commissioner to approve it.
It's recommended.
You're recommending, there is
We
no,
are
the
recommending.
liquor commissioner has the ultimate decision making with regard to all liquor licenses. This is a recommendation. The language is pretty, I think it's pretty clear
Yes.
that it is a motion
It's
to
the
make a
same-
recommendation to the liquor
The
commissioner.
mayor,
Yep.
the
It's
mayor
the same
could say,
recommendation we
no.
send, we forward all the time. It's the same language, same recommendation we send all the time.
Yep, yep.
Again, I don't feel it's fair for us to really nitpick with this right now with Mr. Allen, because I know if I was standing in front of the podium, I would be feeling that it's towards me directly. And it's a confusion in the process and the language that we have. It's not fair to Mr. Allen and his business going forward.
Yep.
Right, and I understand that. I just know historically, we have waived the signature requirement when like 2 have been missing. I mean, that's, and I don't disagree that Mr. Allen has not done his due diligence to get the signatures. I am not discrediting that at all. I guess my concern is there are 2 signatures that said yes, but there are a lot of other people, businesses, I mean, like 90%.
No, again,
we
ma'am,
haven't heard from.
That number shrinks because a lot of them have liquor licenses.
But even if
Well,
you
no,
take those
but
out, there's still a
But
lot
even without
missing.
the liquor,
7?
so
Still a
with, your whole list is 30. You need 16 signatures, 30, so your whole list is 30. When you take out those with a liquor license, it drops it to 16. So you need 50% plus 1 for that minimum, so you would need 9, and you have 2. So
From my
typically,
understanding, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
typically when we waive it, we'll waive it if you're only missing like 2 or 3. And you have done your due diligence. You had a lot, you got the signatures, you just didn't know what ones you shouldn't have. And I guess my concern is, yes, he has done his due diligence, but my concern is the other businesses that didn't sign, I mean, why? I mean, was it because they just weren't contacted, you had bad addresses, or were they no's?
You want me to tell you? Well, I talked to Papa Docs. I forget how to pronounce this, but he said his daughter lives downtown and he doesn't want any more vagrants down there. I talked to, was it Dari? Now, they asked me to present them with evidence that 50% of my income, I mean, not 50%, they support businesses that at least 10% of their income must come from non-alcoholic features, which means you got to make some money in between. I gave them a business plan showing not more than about half of my money coming from admissions and, sodas, pops, small pieces and stuff. And they said that's considered with the liquor too. I could show you the emails and everything. I'm still disputing with them over that. And like I said, I could show you the business plan right here if you wanted to look at it. That it has the charts and everything that what I would make off of liquor, what I would make off of admissions and everything else, and how much I would expect to make every year and increase it.
Okay. So we have, at this point, there has been a motion been made, it's been seconded. I would like to do a roll call. And as long as people understand what we're doing. Right?
Mayor,
Yes.
just for clarification, we are not approving, we're just recommending to you to approve. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's just a recommendation to waive the
All right,
signatures.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay? That's what the motion's been. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Parker,
Aye.
Pulis,
Aye.
Robinson, Alderperson Robinson,
Aye.
Hurt,
No.
Gilbert, Swanson.
Aye.
Okay, I have 4 yeses and 2 nays.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I gotta go back to where, I remember where I was.
Number 11.
Yep, number 11.
Consent agenda.
Anybody want to make a motion on this?
Move to approve consent agenda items A through G.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item number 12.
Claim items A through C.
Move to, oh, go
Motion
ahead.
motion to allow claims items A through C.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Due to the nature of my employment, I need to recuse myself.
Roll call, please.
Alderperson Pulis.
Aye.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item number 13.
Report from the Martin Luther King Center regarding a no-cost extension with Enterprise Community Partners for consulting services regarding the West End revitalization.
Motion to approve the extension with the agreement and authorize the city manager to execute the documents.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. Did you want Jerry up?
Yeah.
Jerry, would you mind coming up for a minute, please?
Let's take a drink here.
Jerry, I was asked if you could just provide a brief explanation of how the extension interrelates with the position.
Sure. So this extension is with Enterprise Community Partners, who've been working on this project from the very beginning. We entered into a contract with them to do the assessment, and we entered into a contract with them to help us implement the work. This extension is to continue in the implementation of work as from a consultant basis. I think it's important to know that this is an investment from John Deere to make this happen, so the no cost really is no cost for the city of Rock Island, and there will be no additional costs to the cost to the contract as well. Does that get at the question well enough?
No.
Okay.
I guess I'm confused because a couple weeks ago, was it only when you made the presentation on the position, there was no mention of that the consultant still needs another year to work on the implementation plan and the strategy. So I thought that that's what the physician, employee, contract person was supposed to be doing.
The employee that we're going to bring on to the King Center is gathering information from the steering committee and the work groups. Remembering this is an incredibly inclusive process that brings in all the input from the stakeholders in the community. Now, our consultant will help hone those strategies moving forward, will guide us on this incredibly ambitious process. And it's good that they're going to be with us because this is something that's new. It's a new process to me, it's a new process to the city, but Enterprise Community Partners have quite a bit of experience with this, allowing us to avoid some common pitfalls and to keep this moving forward. What has slowed the process has been a variety of things, but one of the major things is that we cannot dedicate the amount of capacity that's needed for this project, and that's what that position will fill. They will still need support from our consultant to do this, but it is two separate job descriptions, duties, and components.
Right, as I understand it, the individual that we authorize to hire is the executor, and Enterprise is advising them and you and the community as to how to move forward. Is that right?
Well said.
Any other question? Did you answer it?
And again, this is not a cost to the city of all. This is
Would have been
fine.
nice to have known this last week when we were discussing this.
And again, this is no cost to the city of Rock Island. It's completely funded by John Deere.
Foundation.
John
Deere
Deere
Foundation.
Corporate.
Corporate's doing it?
John Deere Corporate.
Thank you. Clarification. All right, any other questions? Discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt. Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item number 14.
Report from the Parks and Recreation Department requesting approval to select Streamline Architects to provide architect design and oversight services for the RIFAC remodel project and approve $28,650 in ARPA funding to complete the project.
Move to approve the request as recommended.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item number 15.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding the adoption of the Annual Arts Action Plan for 2023.
Move to approve the adoption of the Annual Arts Action Plan for 2023.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I think Kevin is in the audience. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Sorry, I can't see much from my vantage point, which is behind you. But hey, there you go. Now the little screen where I can see your face popped up. Hi there. I am particularly excited. I don't know if excited is the right word, but interested in the bit about maybe exploring additional grant opportunities to expand the city's arts plan. Realistically speaking, how much of this do you think that will be? Do you think we have opportunities to explore additional funding opportunities for more public art in Rock Island? Can you speak on that part?
Yeah. I mean, I think there are definitely opportunities for us to do that. I think there's a lot of partnerships we can do as a region as well. Specifically speaking of the National Endowment for the Arts has various grants that do like sort of the artworks communities, which we can do as a region to, leverage those opportunities. So yeah, I do think that there's some options there, and we've been talking with Tanner to be able to share different grant opportunities that work as a city entity versus just Quad City Arts. So I think that over the next year we probably won't see too much, but I think really 2 years down the road, 3 years, we have the potential to see more.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your work.
Yep. Thank you.
Is there any other questions? Discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt. Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item number 16.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding a special use permit for Radical Venture LLC located at 1340 31st Street, first reading.
Move to approve the special use permit with the identified stipulation and consider the ordinance. Is that right?
Want to suspend the rule?
Oh, yes, I would like to do that too. So,
Consider and
so
pass the ordinance.
move to approve, suspend the rules, and consider the ordinance.
Consider and pass the
Consider and
ordinance.
force, yeah, that, I'll consider and pass the ordinance. Sorry, I
Second.
butchered it.
We used to be natural with this.
So I just want to clarify that this changes nothing. It just allows them to continue doing what they are doing, no changes, but it also makes it a clean use. So moving forward, no future councils can change it, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
So it just basically provides a proper zoning approval for the use that, should have been done back when he first opened up business, but we're making sure it's done now.
There you go.
Nice job.
Better late than never.
Oh, I love CED cleaning up stuff from messy years past. You guys are pros at that.
As long as it's not Mr. Schreiber's pass, we're all right. All right.
No, usually it occurred in the period between Schwiebert and us showing up, Mike.
There you go. Good save. All right. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 17.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding amendments to the zoning code to include a new definition for a retail tobacco business, first reading.
Move to approve the amendments to the zoning code and suspend the rules, consider and pass the ordinance.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion?
to be clear, even though there was no formal amendment to the motion, staff is coming back in 30 days with a recommendation regarding flavors.
That's the next one, Dylan, so you are more than welcome to make that amendment on the next item, because it would be in the tobacco, not the zoning.
You are correct. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Not just me.
Yes, we all have it. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item number 18.
Report from the Legal Department, City Clerk, and Community and Economic Development Department regarding amendments to Article 18, Sale, Possession of Tobacco Products, first reading.
All right, my turn. Move to approve the amendments with additional requests that staff come back in 30 days regarding flavors. Suspend the rules, consider, and pass the ordinance.
Second.
Been moved and seconded twice. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt. Gilbert.
Aye.
And Swanson.
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 18, finally.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding a development agreement with Bally's Quad Cities, first reading.
Motion to approve the agreement, suspend the rules, and consider and pass the ordinance.
Second.
Moved and second. Okay, thank you. Another second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? We had that earlier, and thank you, and it's a wonderful issue. Wonderful topic. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. Item 20.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding funds in the Tax Increment Financing, or TIF 204 account in the amount of $564,261 as part of the city's development agreement with Bally's Quad Cities Casino, recommending the funds be declared as surplus and returned to the Rock Island County Treasurer.
Motion to declare the TIF 204 funds a surplus and authorize the city finance director to return the funds to the Rock Island County Treasurer for distribution.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussions? Roll call.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item 21.
Report from the Finance Department regarding adjustments to the CY 2022 budget, increasing the CED TIF Fund 204 expenses by $29,041 to be remitted to the Rock Island County Treasurer as part of the Parkway I-280 TIF Fund surplus.
Motion to approve the budget adjustment as recommended.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis. Pulis. Okay. Robinson.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item 22.
Report from the Finance Department regarding a budget adjustment, increasing the ARPA Fund 248 by $76,071 for the Hauberg Carriage House renovation.
Move to approve the budget adjustments as recommended.
Second.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item 23.
Report from the Traffic and Engineering Committee regarding a request to remove the handicap parking spot in front of 1625 33rd Street, first reading.
Move to approve the request as recommended and suspend the rules, consider and pass the ordinance.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item 24, other business. Anything good for the cause?
I have two things. One, I want to thank Mr. Bartels for coming to my Ward 4 meeting. It was a great meeting. We had a good turnout. They asked some great questions, and I was incredibly impressed by the preparation you had, and you addressed everybody's questions before they asked them. So that was great, so thank you.
That's great.
And then secondly, I want to congratulate Angela Campbell and her staff for the outstanding grand opening of the new Watts Midtown Library on Saturday. There were so many people there that at one point you could not find a place to park. So it was thrilling and exciting, and congratulations on a job well done.
705 people.
I saw that, yes.
I was the last 5. Got there a little late, but I was the last 5. Yes, it was. Yeah.
I would just second that. I was there at the event, and I didn't get my face painted, but it was terrific. We had a hard time finding a place to park, and it was great to see that many people out and about and enjoying the new facility, because it is really a terrific place. And I'm also a new member, so.
Anything else for the good of the cause? Not, hearing nothing, no.
Okay.
What-
So, just a quick statement from our finance director. Some of our finance geeky residents out there might want some reassurance that
The lights are still on?
our deposits in our local banks, of course, they're well over 250,000, that they are still not necessarily insured, but collateralized.
Yes, they are. And I'll just read from the investment policy under collateral. It is the policy of the City of Rock Island to require that funds on deposit with banks and saving and loans in excess of Federal Deposit Insurance Corporations or Saving Associations insurance funds, limits be secured by some form of collateral. The city will accept any of the following assets as collateral: U.S. government securities, obligations of federal agencies, obligation of federal instrumentalities, obligations of the state of Illinois, and obligations of the city of Rock Island. The amount of the collateral provided will not be less than 110% of the fair market value of the net amount of public funds secured.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'll breathe easy.
The lights are still on in the city. All right. There's nothing else. We will go to item number 25.
Closed session, 5 ILCS 122C2, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or representatives. And I just wanted to say that this pertains to the salary schedules for one or more classes of municipal employees.
Move to go into closed session for the exception cited.
Sounds like Moses was trying to get there too.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on it? Roll call.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
And Swanson.
Aye.
Okay. We are now in closed session.